Time I meet people who got to make the deliberate choice, whose parents chose Canada, I'm jealous, because I think being able to choose it rather than being Canadian by default is an amazing statement of attachment to Canada, which is why I always sort of laugh whenever you see people who are, not many of them, but intolerant or think, oh yeah, no, go back to your own country. Well, no, you chose this country. This is your country more than it is for others because we take it for granted, we default.
Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Lies and Logic and I'm Matt Garrett. Please hit the like and subscribe button and let's get into what's going on today. As you saw in the opening video, Trudeau has been a globalist since the day he was elected, not prioritizing Canadians. His treacherous behavior has come to a head today as Freeland has stepped down as finance minister. Let's read through her letter of resignation. Dear Prime Minister, it has been the honor of my life to serve in government, working for Canada and Canadians. We have accomplished a lot together. On Friday, you told me you no longer want me to serve as your finance minister and offered me another position in the cabinet. Upon reflection, I have concluded that the only honest and viable path is for me to resign from the cabinet. To be effective, a minister must speak on behalf of the Prime Minister and with his full confidence. In making your decision, you made clear that I no longer credibly enjoy the confidence and possess the authority that comes with it. For the past number of weeks, you and I have found ourselves at odds about the best path forward for Canada. Our country today faces a grave challenge. The incoming administration in the United States is pursuing a policy of aggressive economic nationalism, including a threat of 25% tariffs. We need to take the threat extremely seriously. That means keeping our fiscal powder dry so we have the reserves we may need for a coming tariff war. That means issuing costly political gimmicks, which we can ill afford and which make Canadians doubt that we can recognize the gravity of the moment. That means pushing back against America First economic nationalism with a determined effort to fight for capital and investment and the jobs they bring. That means working in good faith and humanity with the premiers of the provinces and territories of our great and diverse country and building a true Team Canada response. I know Canadians would recognize and respect such an approach. They know when we are working for them, and they equally know when we are focused on ourselves. Inevitably, our time in government will come to an end, but how we deal with the threat our country currently faces will define us for a generation, and perhaps longer. Canada will win if we are strong, smart, and united. It is this conviction which has driven my strenuous efforts this fall to manage our spending in ways that will give us the flexibility we will need to meet the serious challenges presented by the United States. I look forward to continuing to work with my colleagues as a Liberal Member of Parliament, and I am committed to running again for my seat in Toronto in the next federal election. With gratitude, the Honourable Chrystia Freeland. This is back Jagmeet into a corner. He must be sweating as his pension hangs in the balance. Let's have a listen to him today in the House of Commons, regurgitating Conservative talking points.
Canadians literally cannot afford the groceries they need. They can't afford to find a home to call their own. And now Trump, buddies of the Conservatives, MAGA Conservatives love this guy, Trump is threatening hundreds of thousands of jobs in Canada. And the Prime Minister is more focused on himself, on infighting. The Prime Minister cannot remain in that position. Will he resign?
He's calling for Trudeau to step down, I'm sure in hopes that he doesn't, so that he can drag this out long enough to fill his pockets to pay for his luxurious lifestyle that he has clearly grown accustomed to. Let's listen to the media shred him in today's press conference.
Right now, Canadians are struggling with the cost of living. I hear it everywhere I go. People cannot find a home that they can afford. They can't buy their groceries. And on top of that, we have Trump threatening tariffs at 25%, which put hundreds and thousands of Canadian jobs at risk. And instead of focusing on these issues, Justin Trudeau and the Liberals are focused on themselves. They're fighting themselves instead of fighting for Canadians. And for that reason, today I'm calling on Justin Trudeau to resign. He has to go.
Will you declare no confidence in the Liberal government as soon as possible?
All tools, all options are on the table. People are hurting, people are struggling, and so all options are on the table.
Just to clarify, you're calling for him to resign, but you are not willing to vote no confidence in his government? How do those two things connect?
All options are on the table.
That's not an answer.
All options.
That's not an answer.
What does this mean for your support with the Liberals, though? How can you say he needs to resign, but then you're not telling us what you're going to do for non-confidence?
I'm telling you that all options are on the table.
Right.
Fez? Will you support the Fez? And also, are you willing to continue to support the Liberals if there is a different leader aside from Trudeau?
Right now, that's not in front of us. There's no votes in front of us, but we will take each vote. And right now, literally, everything's on the table.
Monsieur Singh, en français,
Go ahead.
s'il vous plaît.
Saying, Mr. Singh, that all options are on the table. So why are you holding out the option to still support this government? I understand that you're saying that you might, trigger a confidence vote, but why are you still holding out the option? What is the glimmer of hope that you're seeing to possibly support the Feds or possibly support this government in some other way?
It depends on the votes. And so I want to make it very clear. Justin Trudeau has to go. He has to resign. And because of that, all options are on the table. And we'll look at each vote and we'll make a decision. But now all options are on the table. Paul Wells. Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead, Paul.
Behind you, sir, that
Go ahead,
room
Paul.
behind you is a parliament. The government continues to govern as long as MPs continue to have confidence in the government. You have no say over who the leader of the Liberal Party is. Will you support the government, or are you withdrawing your support from the government?
With respect to that, I've said that all options are on the table. That means everything is possible. But what is clear, given what we have seen, Justin Trudeau and a Liberal government that are focused on themselves, they are infighting at a time when people cannot even do their groceries. They can't even find homes that are affordable. And we've got the threat of Donald Trump and 25% tariffs that mean hundreds of thousands of jobs are at risk. Because of that, I'm saying very clearly that Justin Trudeau has to resign. All options on the table. Thank you very much. Merci. Thank you.
Just a weasel. Just a weasel giving us the politician's answer, dancing around. Perhaps by the time this video goes live, there will be more to report on the status of Trudeau's position. I wouldn't be surprised if Trudeau somehow convinces himself that it is his globalist responsibility to retain his position, to continue fighting for those that were not born here. Let's listen to Pierre make some sense on this radio interview he did, in which he makes clear what he is willing to do in order to begin rebuilding Canada by removing illegal immigrants.
There are between 20,000 and 500,000 people in Canada illegally. 20,000 to 500,000. They don't know. And they say there could be more. Then we know that there are 30,000 people who've been ordered deported that have not left. We know that for sure. Trudeau has lost control of our immigration.
How do you get
system.
control?
I will take back control. First of all, we will track down the 30,000 people who've been ordered deported, and I will have them deported from this country. They've been ordered deported. These are people who are not eligible to be here. We will find them and we will deport them.
Do we have the resources for that?
We do. We just have to direct them to the front lines rather than the back office bureaucracies. Secondly, we will have a rapid approach to treating these new and mostly false refugee claims. For example, I think we should signal that there will be what I call a last in, first out. So people who submit claims now because they're frankly international students who want to stay, they're not real refugees, they're not bad people, but they're using the refugee system to try and stay. We have to treat their case immediately so they know that it's not worth it. We have to secure the border so there's no more people coming in illegally and then staying the 14 days necessary in order to be eligible for a refugee application that can take years. We have to stop them from coming in the first place. And then we have to set numbers for immigration that our economy, our housing market, and our healthcare system can absorb. So that means reducing the number.
Can't argue with the sense he's making there. Now Trudeau has said endlessly, Canada was built by immigrants, and yes, it was. But it's an established country now. Back when Canada was new, hundreds of years ago, and even during the last century, it was necessary and imperative. But now immigration has become detrimental to everyone, including those that are coming into the country. But hopefully today will give us a glimmer of hope that Canadians can have their country back. That's it for me. Please hit like and subscribe. This is Lies and Logic. My name is Matt Garrett. Thanks for watching. See you soon.